I had a lovely story the other day from Hugh Grant. Somebody came up to him in the street and said, "You look exactly like Hugh Grant. No offence."
Julian, have you ever been greeted and welcomed like a long-lost friend by a complete stranger?
Many years ago there was a series called Colditz, remember it?
Yes.
And there was an actor in that who looked very like me. It wasn't me, I wish it had been, I would love to have been in Colditz. And I was doing a telly up in Glasgow with Derek Zuckerman. We were in a taxi going to the theatre one evening, and I told him this, and he said, "Oh, I don't see any resemblance at all, really." I said, "No, well, it happens, it happens." And about 2 seconds later, the driver pulled the glass thing and said, "You were in Colditz, weren't you?" And I said, "No, I wasn't in Colditz. There's another actor, a very fine actor, who plays that, and I'm very flattered you asked if I was, but it wasn't me." And it's called Christopher Neame. And "No, you were in Colditz." I said, "No, I really wasn't. Come on, you were in Colditz. Put a wool over my eyes." I said, "I really wasn't. It was Christopher Neame, who's a very fine actor." And he stopped the taxi, he got out of his side, he came into my side and went, "You were in fucking Colditz." I was.
Sid, when we were signing earlier, you told me about an incident that is prime for confusion. That after Deep Space Nine finished, Battlestar Galactica carried on a very similar vein of character with an actor they cast because he looked like you.
I only suspect this is true. It was told to me by James Callis, who was the actor in Battlestar Galactica. So this might be true. But he and I looked like each other, bizarrely, back in the 90s, early 2000s. And we were often mistaken for each other. And I know this is a Doctor Who crowd, so I'm going to be quite quick about the whole Star Trek Battlestar Galactica thing. But there was a lot of similarities between this character that I played on Doctor Who, I mean on Deep Space Nine, called Dr. Bashir, who was a young, naive, rather idiotic doctor who ended up sort of growing up on the show. And this character called Bashir, I believe, strangely enough, from Battlestar Galactica, who was the doctor on that show. And the fact that he looked like us, I finally asked James Callis many years later, we just met in Morocco last year in the airport, coincidentally, and I said, "Did you have all this nonsense about the fact that we look like each other?" And he went, "Yes, I was told," but then it was worse for me because my producer, the producer of Battlestar Galactica, had actually told me, frankly, that he cast me because I look a bit like you, and he wanted to get the character that he thought he hadn't quite got right on Deep Space Nine right on Battlestar Galactica. So he had the right version of you. And truly enough, he actually got all the girls, and I never did. And I was one of the least attractive people on the show, and he is the most attractive people on his show. So, well, there was an element of truth to what I was saying. But yes, so that I think is true. I don't know, Ron Moore has yet to actually say one way or the other. He's now producing a show called Outlander.
Just picking what you're saying that Bashir never got the girls, well, that's not true.
He got one in the end, yes.